around to getting back to this house. I spent almost, well, probably over half the day at least, doing the video footage and getting the screenshots for the part 2 of my eclectic hotel videos. It's not actually the hotel, it's a second house that I did. They're called the Eclectic Cottages. So that comes out this next Wednesday. I don't know what date that is. That is... Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. That is February 3rd. So, at least depending on where you are in the world, it comes out. I try to do those videos. Those are the edited, polished videos with the music. I do those on Wednesdays. At least that's the kind of schedule I'm hoping to stick to. So if you are interested in seeing those, that will be out on Wednesday. These, however, are the unedited, raw, behind the scenes. I'm just recording and just babbling as I go along, thinking out loud. So if you've seen parts 1 through 5, this is part 6. And the challenge has been a little bit modified. So I brought this up here because Dragon's Dusk, that created this particular challenge, had said she also has a side business, buying, selling, playing board games. So some room she can store them in with easy access. Well, we don't have any board game anything in the game other than one chess set. So having a room with one chess set in it would not make very much of a side business. So I messaged Dragon's Dusk and I'm like, this is a little bit not really possible. So they said, I hadn't really thought about this part, so there aren't board games. So we have access to some shelves she can reach with some books instead. That would be cool. So that's how the challenge has changed slightly, but all the rest of it, if you remember, she's wheelchair bound, she's a widow, she doesn't want stairs or anything, obviously, a house with an open layout, heating, air conditioning, a kitchen, because she likes to cook, one bedroom for herself, and a guest bedroom for kids and everything. Well, of course, this house has a lot of bedrooms, has a lot of rooms. And then grandkids staying over, and she's tech savvy, needs a workstation because she works from home, and one area for displaying pictures and some collectibles from over the years. So, that's a reminder of the challenge, or if anybody is coming into the series late. I haven't mowed the lawn yet. I'm going to see if those darn mole mounds are anywhere around. Ugh. I hate those things so bad. You just really don't know. I mean, literally, I don't know why, but they literally make me feel kind of sick to my stomach. And that's a really weird reaction. And I apologize, but that's just my reaction to those darn things. See, I really want to mow, but see, if you leave the grass high and those mounds show up, you don't really see them much. And you can just mow over them. You don't have to stop and dig every single one of them up. So that's a little trick if you have never done that in House Flipper, or if you're new to it, or if you've never played the game, go get the game. It's really awesome. I don't call it a game anymore. I've sold all the houses, so now I can do whatever I like. It kind of becomes sandbox. And so for me, it's a design program, like Photoshop, but you get to do it with house pieces. So this is where we are so far. I still haven't done anything more in here. I just stuck a little desk in there. If you remember that from previous videos. And the kitchen, I actually laid in bed last night just going, I wonder if I should have made that kitchen pink. Is it too pink? Maybe I should make it blue. I don't know. So I guess I'm going to leave it. I kind of don't really like the green over here, though. I was thinking about that. I thought, is there a different green for the floor? Because I'm not really super psyched about that. I wanted to see, I mean, there is this green. I don't know if I've actually tried this green, because I wanted something that kind of goes a little bit better with this on the wall. I think that kind of does. I think it has that sort of texture. It has sort of that texture. Because this is just kind of too much of a pop of green. It sort of takes your eye off of the room and puts it on the little rug that the kids play on. And I don't really think that's where I want the emphasis to be. So I'm going to try this. I think, yeah. See, that's seamless. That's a lot more seamless with the room. The other thing I did was I changed out these two little chairs. I had them white, but they just, sometimes the white in the game is practically neon white, kind of like the top of this desk. And I just didn't want too much of that because, again, it takes the focus off of the room, off of where you should be looking in the room. So we're not going to put a coffee table in the room. It's going to look kind of weird having such a big room with all this extra space. But because she has a wheelchair, you don't really want a coffee table, because the lady in the article that I was looking at, this one here, she talks about, you know, having your living room no coffee table, because, you know, if you've got a wheelchair, it's very difficult to maneuver around a coffee table. So that's not really so much of a thing. And I really want to just kind of leave this open. I don't know if that we could maybe have something else here. You know what I think we could have, though? We could have one of those, what they call poof. It's a weird name. One of these guys. I think if we have a little one of these on this side, like just a little chair for the kid, because the kids might want to just kind of hang out here if they're watching the TV. And this way it's not quite so empty on this side of the room. So we could have a little gray one that sort of matches. The blue is not going to match. White is not too bad. Might have the white one. Because we've already got green, so I don't really want to go green. See, it's a little too much, you know what I mean? So I think that, I don't know. You know, when you got kids, you got to watch out for that white stuff, because it'll get dirty really fast. But for aesthetics, I'm going to put that. Yeah, I think that kind of helps to balance it out a little bit. This house is still going to look a little unusual because it has a lot of open space for wheelchair maneuverability. So it's going to look a little different than my usual designs. Let's see here. So if we have kids, we have grandma in her wheelchair here. Makes it sound like she's really old. I don't even know how old she is. Okay, so I think that's probably good. So we'll come back and fill in details. You know, like put things in the kitchen and put things on the shelf, and look how picturesque that is. See, it looks like a picture. Looks like a framed picture. Although those little weeds back there are going to get mowed down. So, definitely have a lot of room here in the kitchen. I also need to look at the flooring because apparently, you know, you got to be really cautious. Okay, I'm going to resort that. So that the floors don't obviously become slippery for, you know, someone in a wheelchair. You definitely don't want them slipping and sliding on the floor. So I'm going to put this here, fill in that. But the kitchen, I mean, unless we just pretend that the kitchen has, because it does kind of look matte, and so it could be a non-skid surface. I don't know. Now, you know, I haven't even thought about paint at this point. And that is something I want to do, because I would like to do some sort of paint. I don't want to detract from the room. Like, I don't want to paint the kitchen pink because, you know, then that's going to take away from this pink. I really wish, well, because always this is our problem, you know, when you play House Flipper, you know, the limited paint supply. It looks like we have a lot of colors, but we can't mix them. That would be a really awesome feature if they let us mix colors. Then you could take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and come up with a unique color, because you can do that in any sort of graphics design program like GIMP and Affinity Photo and Photoshop, all you do is, you can layer your colors and mix the colors together. So it would be nice if we could do that here, but can't really do that. So I wonder what I want to do with the walls in the kitchen, because I don't want to draw too much attention away from the lovely backsplash. That's what I'm calling this. I'm not calling it an art piece. This is a backsplash for her. I'm just thinking. Because I mean, I could paint it something like pink mist, but see, I don't know if that's gonna, take away from this. Although, see, the problem is we don't really have any purples that work. This dirty pink sort of works as a purple. I wonder if we could do, I don't know. I may end up painting this stuff white again. Like we could do, just ribbons of color as opposed to the entire walls. Sometimes that can work nicely. See? Something like that. You never know till you experiment. You just go and you go, oh, yeah, actually I like that. That looks nice. Or, nah, I don't like that. See, that's kind of nice because it picks up this lighter purple. Even though it's called pink, it looks like a sort of a soft mauve sort of purple color. So, yeah, let's play a little more with that. Just, I'm digging the stripes thing lately. If you guys have seen my eclectic hotel video, I definitely, what did you do over there? Okay, I did that, and I did this. Oh, yeah, I think that's kind of neat. Could do this one. And we can mirror that over here. And then what I like to do is bring that all the way around like this. And see, it starts to make a frame for the kitchen. Again, like I said in previous videos, you really don't want to like go crazy with it. And I haven't done anything with the lighting here. This is just that sort of temporary lighting I throw up. Well, that sounds terrible. I'm sorry. That I just sort of toss onto the ceiling. How about that? Oh, yeah, I told you guys that I'd have some like falling over my own tongue flubs. There you go. But yeah, I like to sort of just stick the lights up there just temporarily, just to give me something to work with in the meantime, so that I'm not just working with, some dark gray cave looking thing. Let's just see what this looks like. Because the nice thing is that if you don't like it, you just go back and paint over it. See, and that sort of makes a nice little frame for the living room. Even though the living room has its own personality with this sort of turquoise and yellow and this green color. But this is rather nice, I think. And yeah. And see, we've got this sort of pink and purple over here as well. And I want it to look like, some circus or ice cream shop. So, I don't know. Later I may go, oh, why did I do this? This was terrible. This was a bad idea. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like. Because, I did get some... I didn't record this because it was all offline. Because otherwise I'm, I don't know if you guys get like super bored. But so I got a few things, like some things that sort of are very similar. I get this, and I get this one. I just found these on like vintage wallpaper sites and things like that. So I have a few more little things to play with over here, kind of trying to get what is her style, because that's what I do when I'm designing. I mean, maybe I'm just a kook, but having written so many novels, I tend to think of it like, well, you know, I want to kind of get to know the house, and what does the house feel like, you know, with these people who live here. And this is this lady who lives here. I wonder, do I want to actually paint all of this? Because I don't want to get too much into the stripe thing. Let's see what this looks like. If I just go all the way across here. Because that's another thing that you can look at, is look at how these types of walls with these lintels, so they're basically defining the rooms, how do they create a frame for the room beyond? See, let's back up over here. So you see how that sort of frames the room, like a picture frame. And this one over here does the same. That does it in a little bit different manner, unless I decide to paint that. So, I don't know. I'm literally making this up as I go. So, we'll just see where it goes from here. And one thing, too, that I'd like to do is, so that's the dirty pink, as they call it. I like to pick colors that are very close. Depends on how they look. And if they're very close in color, then you can do, see, that looks too orangey to me. Pale pink, that might be a good one. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get big ones of this either. I think this one maybe? Let's try. Is that really this small? Why does that not look small? Oh, goodness. That's the medium. Then what's the large? Holy Toledo. All right. Sure. Okay, I'm going to do this. Because this way, what's nice is that sometimes you can do things that will be, if it's close enough. I don't know. Now we're getting, see, it's not close enough. Okay, no. If you get it close enough where you kind of have to squint to see, you know, is it a different color? It'll be a very subtle striped effect. And that's pretty cool. But I don't know if I like that one because, again, I don't want to take too much away from this. So we've got that color. And as I say, I may end up going back in here later and just painting most of it white. See, because that one has the purplish tint to it, and it's still pale, but these other ones just don't. They really don't. So, yeah, because see, we've got this pink. Look at that purple. We don't need that pink. Buy pink. So I'm just going to be arbitrary, and I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to paint that one white again, and then figure out what I want to do. This house, I'm having a little more trouble with this house than usual, but sometimes houses do start off very slow, and then suddenly I get a lot of ideas, and I'm like, oh wow, now I know exactly what to do. So this room is going to be like the parents' room, children's room. Well, that's because I didn't put these guys up here. All right, I guess I'm going to put them up there. Yay, let me do it. Woohoo. Okay, so this is 14 square meters for that room. And this one is also missing these. Whoops. Oh yeah, that's because I need to put an extra wall because I moved this. I had moved this over. Stop doing that, please. So now, yeah. Oh, there's this. That's another thing I found out today is you don't want these kinds of light switches because they are difficult for people who are challenged, physically challenged. They can be difficult. I won't say for everybody because I'm not speaking for everybody. But apparently, according to that article, the lady said that they needed easier light switches because, you know, like I guess if they needed to use a cane or some sort of implement to turn them on and off, you know, you don't want your standard light switches. I think that's all of them there. Okay, cool. And the game freezes again. Ooh, don't know what that was. All right. Okay, now. Get a little sip of water there. Light switch. So basically, if you don't want to spend a bunch of money on light switches, you can just put these little double ones in. These are the least expensive. But you see, this kind of light switch would be much easier for someone who is challenged in some way. And in fact, they're quite nice just anyway. I think they look nice. Yeah, so now that allows these lights to go off while the other ones stay on. Nice. Okay. So I still don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this room as far as layout. Because it has this weird wall. They like to do that in the game. And this has a nice blue. I wonder what that would look like in this other room. Oh, see, that actually looks rather nice. I think I kind of like that in a way. Because I don't think you can get that lamp in the game. There are certain things you don't want to sell because you won't be able to get them back. Ceiling lamp tube. No, see, the blue is like baby stuff. And then you've got navy and white and cream and then, you know, these other colors. So yeah, so you really don't want to sell. If you want to keep this type of lampshade, you have to keep it because you won't be able to get it back if you sell it. So I always try to think about those things when I'm going through selling things in the house. As soon as I get there, I'm like, I'm going to sell everything. Yeah, well, it's not really always the best choice. So, see, in this room, I'm really kind of thinking I want to sort of keep one of these walls. Not all of them, because then it would just probably look a bit tacky. But that's why I'm being very cautious not to change these walls. Because again, we can't get this color. That happened in the Eclectic Hotel as well. There was a beautiful pale aqua, green, blue, whatever color you want to call it, that was on the walls already. And that's what became the reading room, if you saw that video. And it was just so nice because it was just a hint of color, just a little hint of color. Because sometimes you just don't want to come in and paint the whole thing as some wild color. Because all these colors, some of them are subtle. The Silver Glacier is pretty subtle, as you know if you've used it. The Young Flower Bud is not too bad. This Faded Lemon is very green. It's like even more green than that. So like I could use that in here. I just don't know if it's going to overwhelm everything. You know? It's kind of something I'm thinking about. Because I want to make this place fresh, like a breath of fresh air kind of thing, you know? So, this place could have a ton of changes to it by the time we get done. This is really hard to think about because of the wheelchair aspect, because you think, oh, I could put a little wall here, or I could do that. No, we need to keep it open. So, it is definitely challenging in that respect. See, it's like, I don't know, do I want to do like a light green? Let's stop bebopping around and just, Yeah, you see how this has like a green, yellow-green effect? I don't know. It depends on your monitor. Like, I'll show these to my sister, and she'll be like, oh, that looks like gray to me. And I'm like, okay, are you colorblind, or is it your monitor? I don't know. It's one of the two. Because on my monitor, this is a really good monitor, believe me. Yeah, see, that actually looks really pretty nice, I think. I think that kind of livens things up a bit. Yeah, this monitor actually was more expensive than what I had originally intended on getting. It is an ultra-wide, curved. So I think it's pretty accurate color-wise. That's the whole point. Not to show off, oh, look at me with my fancy computer equipment. You know, with the pandemic thing, you know, staying home most of the time, like literally most of the time, you know, my husband and I are not going out, you know, buying up silly things, you know, that we probably didn't really need. And so, you know, and staying at home and, you know, eating at home and things like that. So we spent a little extra money to rebuild, you know, to build me a new computer, because my other computer, my son had built when he was 14. My son is now 23. So my other computer was kind of on its last legs. It was ready to go out the door. So, okay, I don't know. Still not totally convinced about that rug over there. Seems like there's something else. Why is it? It's probably a rug though, I think. I'm just still not terribly happy with that rug. Because there is a rug. It's not the green flowers. That's too much. I think it's this. But that's too small. Darn it. See, that's like a subtle green. Still. But I'd have to put down 2 of these. I could do that for the kids though. Because I think that green goes better. What do you guys think? I think this is what I do, and you guys get to see the final result and like, ooh, that looks nice. Yeah, well, I went through, you know, 16 iterations before that, and you get to see the final bit. So that's the good part, I guess. You didn't have to see all the muckety muck in the middle. Which this is the muckety muck, and you know, if you guys enjoy that too, well, hey, that's cool. Alright, I'm gonna do that. Oh, it looks so bare. And so now I'm gonna need 2 of these because 1 is not gonna be enough. Let's go over here. And oh, fiddle-dee-dee. I'm really glad we had the little toy box of stuff over there, because that's super helpful. Alright. See, this will make a nice little area for the kids. This is not wheelchair friendly. But it is a good area for the kids. See, I think that fits better with the colors, the wall and all of that. It's a fairly low rug, but, you know, I think this is mostly just the kids' area. I wonder if these would look better, maybe? I don't know. Would they look better the other way? See, they're really long. I may end up putting them back the other way. Kind of looks better this way, though. Just put the toys over here if they'll go. Come on. Wow. Okay. And we can scoot this in. And yeah, I think. I wonder if we need 2 of these for the kids. I don't know. Let's see. do two different colors. Oh, that's kind of nice. That's kind of neat. Yeah, because I think that Anne will still have plenty of room to maneuver around all of this. And she'll have plenty of room for her wheelchair to go wherever. If she wants to wheel over here and be on this part, I think that works for her. And let's just, for giggles, let's paint this wall. These are always the tedious bits. Everybody keeps begging for more paint colors, and so far the developers have not come out with it. Now there are some paint colors that have come out in the workshop, so that is a possibility. Let's see, I really am lazy. I don't want to move the thing. I think I've got all of them. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, I'm not really happy with this kitchen part though. Like, I mean, I think I've got too many of the little stripes going on over there. Kind of circus land. No, we don't want circus land. I stick my paints all in one place for the most part anyway. Let's... yeah. I may end up doing, I don't know, something with this. Because you guys should know by now, if you've seen my videos, I don't do anything just regular. You know, I like, yeah, I think I'm gonna, I'll do something else though. Not sure what yet, but something. I mean, I could do some tiles, but I don't really think I want to do... I don't want to overdo it with the pink. Let's... I may leave it, this underside, painted that color. Ah, you see? I knew I should have brought that white paint in. I have to keep running outside. But as you'll hear me say many times, you just experiment. You just go, okay, oh, maybe this will look good. You know, after second thought, I don't think that looks so good. So I don't want to have too much of this going on. Look at that. It looks very purple there, and that's the same color, and it looks very pink. Look at that. Very purple, very pink. Probably because there's more light on one side. Supposedly that's the excuse for why they don't give us pure white, or it shouldn't be pure white, but a more of a white, because these walls are very gray. And even when you put light on them, they're gray. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Probably have to do these guys though. Just the undersides here. Look at that. That literally looks like two different colors. And it's the exact same one. Yeah, it's the same color. Wow. Just wow. Okay. Now... yeah, I think this living room bit looks pretty good. Do I want these reversed? I don't know. think the dogs upstairs are at it again. The howling because mom and or dad leave and the dogs literally act like, oh, you've abandoned me. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know if this is down as far as it could be. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, there we go. So I kind of want light. Oh, that's not what I want. I want lights for this, standing lights, and I want this. And I think the base probably in the dark color. The inside, well, yeah, the inside could be gold. And the lampshade, let's see what that looks like. That's kind of nice. What do you think? Pretty cool. Oh, wow. Interesting sort of shadows it casts. Okay. All right, let's put one of these over here. Sometimes the shadows cast by these things are just so bizarre. It's why I don't end up using some of the really neat, like, chandeliers. Because, like, I love this chandelier. This chandelier is really awesome. But when you get it and you put it in the room, it just casts the most funky shadows everywhere. I mean, you know, actually, that kind of looks nice. Especially with this little brass color. So I don't know, maybe I'll leave that. This will just be the room of the weird shadows. But see, that kind of looks cool. See, that was a happy little accident, I think. I think I'll keep that. It's kind of neat. All right, now. So I'm going to take the pink paint, the purple, pink, whatever color this is, out here. Add it to my little stockpile. All right. Yeah, so see, I do like defining the insides here and across. I think that's nice. I think that's a very nice little touch. I do want to do something special with this dining area. It just is so bland. I need to figure something out. I think I'm going to... This is my funny haha picture there. And I gotta go find... I think it's in here. This could be a possibility. Like if we have a really big one. Like really big. Oh dear. 3 meters wide. That's going to be way too wide for that. No. Let's see where this takes us. Because I think something like really big. Oh, see, but even bigger than that, though. Like I'm thinking wall mural, you know? Let's just see what it looks like for the heck of it. My theme song for the heck of it. And no, I do not drink. Typically, I do not. I mean, like, I don't know. I really don't. So, I'm just weird. I'm just naturally weird. See, I think that looks really pretty cool. I kind of... Let's see what happens if we go even bigger. Let's see. If I do a height of... Sure. And this, and it's going to cost a freaking fortune. Oh, look at that. Like $3,000. Well, $2,500. I mean, I think that's kind of cool. I like it. I'd like for it to be taller, though. Height. Let's go even higher. And a little wider. Oh! Yeah, that's pretty much a wall mural, isn't it? You start to lose quality sometimes. I'm going to take it down just slightly. Doesn't really matter if it's exact, but it just kind of helps me in some weird way that I can't really put in words. So I think I'm actually going to keep the height, but not the width. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that like too crazy wild? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's do... I don't know. You know, you can't tell till you step away from it. I mean, I think it kind of makes it fun. I'm going to adjust it a little bit, though. And we'll put it right in here. I really wish you could back up far enough to see this stuff, because you can't tell. And in the last video, I talked about negative space. So you see how I have a lot of space at the top, and there's a little bit of space at the bottom. And then it needs to not be that way. It needs to be more even. But it's very hard to tell where that is, because you can't back up far enough. All right, I think that's better. So I'm going to live with that. And there's actually a reason why I'm going with this stuff. And that is, when we had the whole board game thing, I thought, gee, we can't put board games, so I don't know what she's going to have. And then Dragon's Dusk changed it so that we don't have to have the board games. I'm like, yay. But then I thought, oh, great. Now I got this whole room over here. What am I going to do with it? Because we've got her room over there, got her bathroom, her like main bathroom. And then back here is going to be another big bathroom. I am going to put a tub in there because, you know, when the kids come over, when her kids and her grandkids come over, they may need baths. You know, her kids' room, you know, when they're like adults coming over. And then probably a room for the kids. And I'm going to put her office down in her bedroom. So this could be like another bedroom because, you know, maybe she has, we don't know how many kids she has, but maybe she has, you know, 3 adult children and then maybe a couple of grandkids, you know, or however many. So she might need 3 more bedrooms for them to come visit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So this room, I thought, what if we could turn it into an art studio? And maybe that's the kind of thing that she does, you know? Maybe she does these types of art pieces. You know, because a lot of times when people get older and their children fly the nest, so to speak, and, you know, maybe they're retired or whatever, and they take up, you know, art, and they say, you know, I always enjoy doing art. And so I think, because now we have a lot of art things like art easels and canvases and those kinds of things, this can be her art studio. And look at the light. There's lots of light, and artists love to have light. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And maybe that's her side business. Maybe she actually sells some of her artwork. And yeah, I think that's a fun idea myself. So I am looking at this. Oh, yes. Yeah, so I'm looking at colors that I can tie together. I'll have to give that a little bit of thought. So I don't know exactly how long this has been going. I'm gonna end this video, take a little break, and then I'll come back and start another video where we'll kind of look more into making this bit less drab as well, now that we've sort of perked up the dining area, and go from there. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I hope you're getting something out of it besides just listening to some crazy nutcase babble her mouth off while she's designing these interiors. But hey, all artists are, you know, a little out there, because believe me, I mean, my degree is in classical music. I was a cellist, and I went to an art school. So I graduated from the North Carolina School of the Arts, and I know what artists are like. And whether they're visual artists or dancers or design and production or musicians, we're all a little whacked. So I can speak from experience on that. So I will end this video for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.